Okay, so I wanted to make a video about things that I no longer buy. I definitely feel like my style and spending patterns have evolved quite a bit over the years, and I am actively trying to have less physical things. So I would consider myself a minimalist, or at least an aspiring minimalist. So I really try to practice this idea of value-based spending, meaning I am trying to spend money on things that really add joy or value to my life and just basically cutting out the stuff that doesn't. I think that this stems from having moved as many times as I have. So throughout my 20s, I moved permanently 6 times and lived abroad twice. So I have in total 8 relocations under my belt just throughout all of my 20s. I'm 32 now. I think one of the biggest things that I learned, especially early on in those moves, like in my early 20s, was how easy it is to accumulate crap. And you don't realize how much stuff you have until you have to move. And I think the most pivotal moment for me that really made me start to reevaluate how I'm purchasing things, why I'm purchasing things, was when I moved from Seattle back to Chicago in 2019. And that was after living in Seattle for 5 years. So during that 5 years, I just had accumulated so much stuff. I probably ended up throwing away more than 50% of the things that I had purchased over those years, which seems so crazy to think about, but it was a lot of just me going to Kohl's, going to random stores because I was bored one day, buying a bunch of random knickknacks and trinkets and like clothes that I didn't really like or that I didn't need, but it was on sale, and so I thought, why not? I think just like experiences like that over the years, I've really come to value having less stuff. Also, investing in quality things, in nicer things that are going to last me a long time. If I'm going to buy myself something, I want it to be quality and something that's going to last me 20 years, or something that I can even pass on to my kids or my grandkids one day. One litmus test for me, being someone who moves so frequently, is if I buy this thing and I have to move, is it worth figuring out what to do with it when I move? I don't think minimalism means living on a shoestring budget. I think minimalism can mean different things to different people. What minimalism means to me is just really being more intentional with what I'm buying. I am a buy it for life kind of person. So a lot of the things that I own now, I've had for like 8 to 10 years of my life. And it's just from taking really good care of it and also training my brain to not get caught up in wanting the latest trend, wanting the latest gadget, because what I've learned is that the latest gadget today is just going to end up being tomorrow's clutter. I think there's like a saying like that. So here are 10 things that I no longer buy. First one is fast fashion. So I really don't buy fast fashion anymore. I have in the past, but it's something that I'm actively trying to buy less of. So places like Zara, Shein, H&M, I don't really buy from them. I don't think they're good for society or for the planet, to get clothes made that cheaply. There are definitely unethical things that are happening in sweatshops and things of that nature, and they tend to be like one and done type clothing, and because they're cheaply made, they're just not going to last a long time. So the second is costume jewelry. In my 20s, I would buy a lot of fake cheap costume jewelry, the statement pieces, the loud colors, stuff that would basically make your fingers green. My style has evolved quite a bit as well. So now I just really enjoy like a few staple gold pieces that I've invested into. And, really the only like jewelry that I regularly wear is my hoop earrings and this gold ring. This is a Cartier love ring that I gifted to myself about a year and a half ago. I love it. It's just a nice everyday ring. I really don't have to take it off ever because it's solid gold. So I can shower with it, I can sleep with it, no issues. The only time I do take it off is when I'm working out so that it doesn't get scratched. These hoop earrings are actually just some earrings that I got from Madewell. This is actually my second purchase of the exact same item because I wear them so often, and this piece that gets inserted into the ear has actually broken, and I'm starting to see the same thing happen to this second pair. So basically after this goes out, which I'm sure it will in the next few months, my plan is to invest in a like 18 karat gold set of hoop earrings that hopefully I can have for decades and won't wear down. Okay, so the next thing I stopped buying is tampons and pads. I have not purchased any tampons or pads since 2019, so going on 4 years now. I've switched to menstrual cups, and it's truly been a game changer. It's better for the environment, it's better for your health. You're not inserting bleached chemicals into your body, and it's also much better for your wallet. So I spent $40 for the the Lunette cup back in 2019. I am probably going to replace it this year. I think they say to replace it every few years. Okay, so the next thing that I do not buy anymore is razors. This is because I got laser hair removal about 6 years ago. It's truly been a life-changing thing. I love it so much. I definitely recommend going to a place that does medical grade laser hair removal. It is not cheap. I definitely spent a lot of money, probably somewhere between $8,000 to $10,000 for my full body. And the reason that it was more expensive because I didn't bundle the laser hair removal, and so I didn't do like full body all at once, which would have been cheaper. It kind of started off as like a one-off thing. So I started off by just doing my underarms, and then I loved it so much. I had such a great like positive experience with it that I wanted to keep doing more parts of my body. And then when it was all said and done, I ended up having my full body completely lasered off, but because I did them individually, I didn't get the benefit of bundled pricing. So the next thing I wanted to talk about is how I've eliminated having like multiples of things. So for example, I don't need a collection of different colors of the same style of shoes or the same style of handbag. So I'm trying to move toward a capsule style wardrobe. So I really just want one pair of heels. I really just want one belt. I want one large handbag and maybe one smaller handbag. I think it really eliminates like decision fatigue and clutter in my mind and in my life. You know, like I'd rather invest into something I absolutely love and that will last me a long time. So for example, I have this Gucci belt and I love it. It is a staple in my wardrobe. It's real leather. It adds a really nice touch to an otherwise basic outfit, which I mean, most of my outfits are pretty basic. I have the belt with the smaller buckle, so the logo isn't as loud in my opinion, but it was totally worth the investment and I will never need another belt. Overall, as a general rule of thumb, if I buy something new, I make sure to sell or donate or give away the old thing. So for example, when I bought the belt, I donated the old belt that I had. There's a couple exceptions here and there that I make from time to time, but for the most part, just having one of each thing is a general rule that I try to stick to most of the time. Okay, so the next thing that I do not buy is plastic Tupperware. I pretty much only had plastic Tupperware those first few years out of college. And what would happen is they would often get melted in the dishwasher. I would make pasta and store leftover pasta with the red sauce in the plastic Tupperware, and then it would get stained. And also heating up plastic is really terrible. So if I needed to heat something up in the microwave, I would end up having to transfer the contents onto a glass dish, and then that would create more dishes for me to do, and it was just kind of a PIA. So about 4 years ago, I basically got rid of all of my plastic Tupperware and invested in some quality glass dishes, and I have not looked back since. It is a great investment. It's better for your health, and again, if I need to heat things up, I can just take that entire dish and put it in the microwave without having to use other additional utensils and dishes. The next thing is coffee filters or coffee pods. So I don't use K-cups, I don't use an espresso machine, I don't use a Keurig or anything like that. I think they're pretty bad for the environment and also really expensive to maintain. So I actually use a French press, and I just happen to have this already in my bedroom from the morning. I promise I didn't just bring it in here for this video, but I have this nice Bodum French press. It's beautiful. It's got these like nice gold trim and handles. It sits really nicely in the kitchen. I think it was $50, and it doesn't require any filters or buying anything extra other than just the coffee grinds, and it's again just a lot more cost effective. I believe this is the second to last thing. It is on sale items. So we're talking like random stuff from Target, you know, shopping from the sale clearance section at Kohl's or whatever store. Just because something is on sale doesn't mean you actually need it. I used to be the biggest culprit for buying random shit because it was on sale for the sake of, well, I may need this one day. And what really ended up happening in reality was that it would just end up sitting there collecting dust and I never actually used it. You know, there's a funny saying that I saw one time and it said, you can see something on sale for 50% and walk in the store and save 50%, or you can keep walking and save 100%. And I thought that was pretty funny, but also very true. So for me, if I see something on sale and I feel inclined to buy it, I ask myself, if this was full price, would I be willing to pay and buy it? If the answer is no, then I know it's not something that I really want or need, and I just keep it moving. Okay, the last thing is excess makeup. It's so easy these days with social media, with TikTok, to get caught up in the latest makeup trends, the latest skincare trends, and it's just overload. I have significantly worked to simplify my skincare routine and my makeup products that I use, so I just don't really get caught up in trying to get the latest makeup product, because ultimately there's bajillions of things that are coming out literally every single day. I've actively worked to improve my skincare, and as a result, that's actually allowed me to feel more confident wearing less makeup. So I actually stopped buying foundation. I have a couple like multi-sticks that I bought from this one company called Mango People that I really like. And I just keep my makeup routine very simple, but I do think a big component of that is having worked on improving just my skin and like my skincare. So that involves using a basic cleanser, a basic moisturizer, vitamin C, retinol, and good quality sunscreen. I think those are really the foundational things that most people will benefit from, and everything else is kind of, in my opinion, a little extra. Okay, just kidding. That was not the last one. The last one is that I stopped buying physical books or paying for books in general for the most part, because I discovered that I can actually rent books, including ebooks, directly from my local library. So I have a Kindle device and I just went and got a library card. I'm able to do everything online. I can put books on hold and reserve them for 3 weeks at a time, which has been phenomenal because I was spending a lot of money on books before. Okay, and that is it for this video today. If you enjoyed this video, let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll see you guys next time.